Hello everyone, Venkat here. So this is Tableau series 4. So in this Tableau series 4, so just click on these topics. Will be navigating to these notes here. So in the Tableau introduction, you can find Tableau series 2 and Tableau series 3 videos here. So it will take you to the YouTube. And in this class, in this series, we'll just try to see what is the meaning of discrete versus continuous fields. Okay. So if you come down here, so in the last class, in the last class, I just forgot about uh, to tell you something. So we are seeing this count, measure names and measure values, right? So, so for example, whenever you connect to the database, right, you can go to last series actually. So we'll try to, you will get that one. So whenever we connect to any database, not only Excel file, whenever you connect to any database, you will be seeing Tableau will generate three additional fields. So measure names, measure values, and count field. So in the last class, we have seen this count field. So, so in the last class, we have seen count field, and in this class, we will see measure names and measure values. So very simple. So for example, when we connect to any database, right, Tableau automatically divides all fields into dimensions and measures. So the measure names is indicating that all the measure names what we have here. Okay. So if I want to see all the measure names, what I will do is I'll simply drag my measure names into the row shelf. So when I drag my measure name into the row shelf, I don't see anything here. It will show no measure value. Okay. But if I drag, whenever I drag measure values into the text here, okay, so I can see all the measures here. So so what are the data source I have connected? What are the tables I have? What are the fields I have here? So in these fields, we have all these are measures, right? So I can see all these measures here. So that is the use of measure names. So for example, if I take external marks is a measure name and 377 is there, right? So this is a measure value. Okay, like that. So you see, whenever I drag measure names into row shelf and measure values here, I can see all the measures here in the sheet. Okay. Okay. So this is about measure values and measure names. So we'll discuss more about this bit later whenever there is a requirement. So as of now, so this is about brief. For example, if you want to show all the measures in a sheet, right, then only we can use these measure names and measure values. Okay. So for example, I want to show only two measure names here in the sheet. For example, external marks and internal marks I want to show. So I can go to row shelf here. I can simply click on filter option and I will select only those two. Just click on none here. After that, you can select external marks and internal marks one. Just click on OK. So now whenever you filter those values, right, now you can see measure names in the filter shelf and I can see external marks and internal marks in the sheet here. Okay, so this is about measure names and measure values. So these are very useful while creating charts and all those also in real time. Okay, so now we'll go to one more sheet here. Now we will see what are discrete and continuous fields. Okay, what are discrete and continuous fields? So like dimensions and measures. So I can see like dimensions, discrete fields also will appear in blue color. Okay. So like dimensions, discrete fields also appear in blue color actually, and continuous fields will appear in green color. So that is the first difference. Okay, that is the first difference. Okay, and let me explain you. Uh, so that is the first difference. And sometimes, right? Sometimes we can convert dimensions. Sorry. This is about dimensions actually. If you go a bit down here, I can see discrete versus continuous. So I can see discrete fields in blue color, continuous fields in green color, and discrete fields always show list of values like that. Okay, so this is the main first difference, and let me tell you about these things bit later. Just now explain you. Okay, now what is the how? So okay, 1 second. Okay, now for example, I want to take one particular field here. For example, I want to take external marks here, and I want to show what will happen when I take it as a continuous field. Okay, when I take it as a continuous field, and what will happen when I take it as a discrete field. Okay, so we'll see uh, if I take external marks as a continuous field, what will happen, and we'll see if we take external marks as a discrete field, what will happen. Okay, so first let me go to Tableau. First, let me go to Tableau here. So external marks is by default, it is a measure actually here. So when I drag into the text here, automatically I can see sum here. Why? Because we already seen that for measures, Tableau automatically do default aggregation function like summation. Now I can see 377. So total external marks value is 377. Okay. Now I can convert this measure into discrete actually. So if you go here and if I see discrete, if it's as of now it is a continuous here. If you want to convert it to dimension, you can just click on dimension here. If you want to convert it into discrete, you can simply click on discrete here. So as of now, measure is a continuous field. Why? Because it is appearing in the green color. So if it appears in the green color, we can say it is a continuous field or it is a measure. Okay. Now if I convert this into discrete, now you see it is converting into blue color, and still I can see some function here, and still the value is same here. Okay, so what will happen is if we convert a measure into discrete field, okay, if you convert a measure into disc or continuous field into discrete field, there is no change in the result actually. There is no change in the result, but it is changing to blue color actually, and summation also will remain same. Then what is the advantage of converting continuous fields into discrete fields? Okay, let me explain you the same one thing. So for example, I want to see this total marks for each student. So simply drag the student name into row shelf here. Now you see for each student I can see, just give me a second. Okay, so for each student I can see total sum of marks. Now the user is asking me that I want to show, for example, what he want to do is he want to show only 52 and 105 only in the sheet. Then what I will do is I'll go to my sum of external marks here. Simply I click on drop down here. Simply I will show it as a filter to the user. Now you see when I show this as a when I show the discrete field as a filter to the user, what the user can see is user can see all these values 52, 105, 220 is there, right? So in this filter, user can see all these values 52, 105 and 220. And from this, the user can select what are the values he want. So he want to 52, right? He can select 52. So what is the meaning of discrete means? So discrete discrete fields shows exact values. Sorry, discrete field shows list of values. Okay, so it will simply show the list of values here. So what are the values we have in the sum of marks? And when I show it as a filter, right? So it will show all the values in a form of list actually, in the form of list. Okay, so this is about discrete function. And let me duplicate this value. Let me duplicate sheet this, and let me convert. So let me remove this from the filter shelf, and now convert the same into continuous field. Now you see, when I convert this into continuous field, now what I can see, now I'm showing the same as a filter. Now just click on show filter option. Now you see, whenever I show continuous fields, so it is in green color means continuous field. So whenever I show a continuous fields as a filter, it will not show list of values. Instead, it will show range of values. Okay, it will show range of values. So see, in the just before sheet, uh, as it is a discrete one, it is showing list of values here. But when I convert this into continuous and when I try to show it as a filter, it is showing list range of values here. See, if you go to this sheet, minimum value we have 52, maximum value we have 220. So it will show range of values. Instead of showing list of values, it will show range of values, minimum value and maximum value. Okay, like that. So that is the main difference between discrete fields and continuous fields. And so it is because of this reason initially by default you see external marks is a continuous field, that is it is a measure. Actually, if you show measure as a filter, I can see a range of values in the filter, but the user is asking that I want to see 52, 105, 220, all these values are as it is in the filter. So then we have to convert this into discrete filter, discrete, and then we have to show filter. So when we convert it into discrete, it will show in blue color. I can see list of values here. Instead of range of values, I can see list of values. So it will show exact values actually. Whatever you see in the sheet, it will show exact values in the filter shelf also. So this is one where we can convert continuous fields into discrete fields. And there is one more advantage in the not advantage. There is one more use case for this discrete fields. Okay, so let me go to sheet 13 of 2. In this sheet, we are having continuous field here. So when I take my continuous field into either row shelf or column shelf, automatically it will show bar chart actually. So whenever you bring any measure or any continuous field into the row shelf or column shelf, it will generate bar chart. But I don't want to generate bar chart. Okay, in that case also, you can simply go for discrete option here. When you convert it into discrete, it will show discrete values here. Now you may ask me a question like, even if I drag this into text also, even if I drag this into text also, I can see the same values only. But what is the need of converting it into discrete actually? Okay, I'll keep in continuous only, and still it is showing list of values here. You may think like that, but you see, whenever now what is my requirement is I want to show external marks before student here, before student name. So what is my requirement is, first I want to reverse it actually. So I want to display external marks here, and I want to show student name after external marks. Simple. Okay, I want to show my student name after external marks, like that. So in this case, in Tableau, it is not possible. See, when I drag this into row shelf, now you see one more thing you have to remember in Tableau is, whenever you drag one field into the row shelf or column shelf, whenever you see this orange color drop down, right, orange color arrow mark, right, then only we have to place our fields. Okay. So if you try to place your sheet without appearing that arrow mark, right, it will not place actually. Now you see, now I don't see that arrow mark here. Now without seeing that arrow mark, if you drop your field there, it won't appear in the sheet. Simple. Okay. So whenever you see whenever you see this arrow mark, then only we have to place our fields in the row shelf or column shelf. Now you see, whenever I try to place my continuous field just before student name in the row shelf, Tableau is not allowing. You see, still I can see this arrow mark here only. So in Tableau, what is the limitation is, measures are continuous fields, cannot be placed before dimensions. Okay, measures are continuous fields, cannot be placed before dimensions or between dimensions. Okay, so we cannot directly place our measures or continuous fields before dimensions or between dimensions. So always measures can be placed in the last only. In either row shelf or a column shelf, we can place our measures after dimensions only, not before dimensions or not between dimensions. So if you want to avoid this situation, what I will do is, first I will drag it into row shelf, then I'll convert this into discrete. When I convert this into discrete, I can see this in blue color. Now I'll simply drag this into before student name. Now you see, now as I have external marks in the first row, I can see external marks first, then I can see student name here. So this is the second use case where we are converting our continuous fields into discrete fields. Okay. Okay, but in general, remember, in general, if you want to place if you want to place your if you want to generate text table, right, don't go for this. Actually, we have only two scenarios. We are going for this discrete option. One is student name is a dimension. If you want to place your measure just before dimension, then convert this into discrete. Actually, this is the first use case. Second use case is, actually external marks is a measure. Actually, when you show measure as a filter, it will show list of it will show range, actually minimum and maximum range. But user is asking that I want to show these values as it is in a filter shelf also. Then we have to convert this into discrete, then it will show list of values like this. Okay, this is the second use case. Now let me tell you in general, what is the meaning of continuous and discrete. I told you already, continuous means discrete means it will show list of values. Continuous means it will show a range of values. Okay, same thing. For example, if you come to real time, what are continuous fields? Continuous fields always shows range of values. Okay, range of values and they are still continuous only. We cannot define them, or we cannot define them in a particular range. Actually, like not range, we cannot continuous means, let me tell you. So for example, if I take uh, so for example, if I take marks is a measure, right? As marks is a measure, it is continuous field. So what is the meaning of continuous means? The values are infinity. The values are continuous. Actually, there is no ending for the continuous fields. For example, if I take marks between 10 and 20, I can say between 10 and 20, I can say infinity values. Like for example, 10.01, 10.0.001, 10.0.00001, like that. So continuous means it will be having infinity values. There is no ending for continuous. Okay, that is the meaning. So if I take 0 and 1, between 0 and 1, I can say infinity values, 0 0.1, 0 0.001, 0 0.00001, like that I can say infinity values. Okay, so that is a continuous field, and it will show a range of values. Okay, if I take 0 to 10 range, 10 to 20 range, 20 to 30 range, I can say range like that. A discrete means I can show a discrete values, like as I shown, right, 52, 105, 200. So it will show list of values. Instead of showing that, it will show list of values. Okay, let me go to Tableau here. Now we will see a few more things here. So just remember, right? Remember this thing. Date fields, right? Date fields also a continuous fields. Okay. So date fields also a continuous fields. For example, uh, so for example, let me go to Tableau here. Let me go to Tableau. Let me connect to a one more data set. Just go to data option, new data source. For practicing purpose, we are connecting to sample superstore here. So I will explain you about the sample superstore dataset bit later. As of now, you see. So if you see order date, so order date is appearing under dimension list and it is in blue color. So whenever I see it in blue color, it means it is a discrete or it is a dimension. Now, how to identify date fields means I can see this calendar symbol. So whenever you drag this into field row shelf, I can see discrete values here. Discrete means it will show the values as it is. So I can see discrete values here, 20, 21, 22, 23 like that. But if we take, but if I want to show it as a filter, right? Now you see it will show list of values as it is. Now, for example, if I convert this into continuous, so just go into continuous here, convert it to continuous. I can see in blue color here. Now, when you try to show it as a filter now you see the same thing I can see in range of values here. Between 2020 and 23, I can select any years like that. So continuous means it will show range of values. Discrete means it will show list of values like this. So just remember this as of now. So whenever you get requirement, you will understand how to represent this thing. Okay, that is not a problem. Okay. Now you remember a concept of axis, right? So I hope you remember a concept called axis. So let me tell axis. Okay, axis. For example, if I take two values, for example, if I take x comma y, we remember this in 10th class, right? I want to plot x values and y values. Okay, x is 5, y is 20. I want to plot these values. So what I say at that time, this is a y-axis and this is the x-axis. So this is x-axis and it is a y-axis. So middle point is 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So these called axis. This is called axis. So continuous fields, okay? Continuous fields always generate axis. Okay. So let me go to Tableau here. If you drag any continuous field, for example, if I drag sales, sales is a continuous field. How to identify it is a continuous field? It is in green color. So it is a continuous field, or we can say it as a measure also. So whenever you drag continuous field into the row shelf or column shelf, it will generate axis. So it is axis actually. So this axis is continuous actually. 0 to 200, 200 to 400. Like that, continuous fields will generate always axis. Now, if I drag any discrete field like year of order date into the row shelf, it will generate headers actually. It will generate headers. Okay. So discrete fields are dimensions will generate headers. Okay. Now I want to show you something different, like not different, sorry. So just swap it. Okay. Now it is the thing. Just go to enter view. So I will share. I will tell you about this enter view and all those things a bit later. Now I told you, right? So continuous fields will generate axis, right? So, okay, go to row shelf, go to continuous field like sales, just click on format option. Now, when I click on format option on the left side, you can see axis and pane. Okay, so continuous fields are generating axis here. Now, you see, if you want to confirm that in the axis, I'm just doing formatting here. So if I select red color here, you see all these are turned into red color. So continuous fields will generate axis. Now, if I go to segment in the column shelf, if I go to segment and go to format option, so this is a dimension or this is a discrete field. Now, discrete fields will always generate headers actually. Okay, so to confirm that, if I go to font option and if I change it into some green color or some red color also like that, now you see This consumer, corporate, and home office all were coming under segment actually. Now these are changed to red color. So continuous fields are measures will generate always axis, and discrete fields will always generate discrete fields will always generate discrete fields or dimensions will always generate headers. Just remember that. Now, even if you go for discrete field format option, I can see pane option here. Even if you go for sales continuous field format option, I can see X and pane here. Now, what is the meaning of pane here? Pane means just click on the T symbol here. Now, whenever you click on the T symbol here, for each segment, I can see sales value here. Okay, so this is called pane actually. This is called pane. This pane is generating by sum of sales here. Why? Because for consumer, what is the total sales? 1 lakh, 11 lakhs. For corporate, what is the total sales? 7 lakh 15,000. So this 7 lakh 15,000 are generated by sum of sales here. Okay, so the text, you can see this text here, right? This text is generated by sum of sales here. That is by continuous field. So continuous fields will generate axis and pane. For example, if I go to pane and if I try to change the pane into red color, now you see I can change the text into red color. That means this text, whatever you see here, this pane actually. Not only in this chart, for example, if I go to any new sheet, for example, if I go to ship mode here, and if I drag sales into the text here, so in general, whatever you drag into the text here, right? Whatever you see into the text here, this text is nothing but this one. Whatever you see in the text, that will generate pane. That is not this should not be this should not be a measure, or it should not be a dimension. Whatever you drag into the text here, that will generate pane actually. Okay, so as of now, when I'm just dragging the sales into the text, right? So it is generating pane now. To confirm that, go to format option. Just simple for simplicity, just convert it into like select red color here. Now you see, I can see red color here. So not only sales here. Now, for example, if I drag, if I drag category, for example, if I drag category into the text here, now this category will generate now pane here. So just drop down, go to format option. Now go to pane here. Now change it to red color. Now you see it is a pane. Okay, so just to understand what is the header and what is pane, just see the two examples. Just below, just before example, this one bar chart and this text table. Okay, so this is about this is about discrete fields and continuous fields. Just give me, let me tell you about 2 minutes. Like dimensions, discrete field will also appear in blue color, and discrete means it will show list of values. Okay, so we can convert continuous measures into discrete fields. So discrete fields can be aggregatable. Okay, now discrete fields always show list of values. Okay, now when we can convert dimensions into measures into dimensions means, for example, if you want to, so region and category both are dimensions. If you want to place your measure or continuous field between dimensions or before dimensions, then we have to convert our continuous field sum of sales into discrete here, so that we can place discrete fields in between dimensions or before dimensions. Okay, now come to continuous. Continuous fields will appear in green color like measures, and continuous fields always generate axis, and it will give range of values. Okay, range of values means if I go for order date, they are showing range of values like between 2019 and 2022. They won't show exact values. They will continuous fields always show range of values between 2019 and 2022, like that. Sales as a continuous field, I can see between this value and this value. Now, as I said, continuous fields will generate axis, right? I can see this is axis. Okay, so like that. And so here I can see header, axis, and pane. Which fields will generate header, fields will generate axis, which fields will generate pane, right? I showed you. So continuous fields will always generate. Okay, I don't want to tell you, it will make a bit lengthy. You can go to our this video, you will come to know which fields will generate a axis, header and pane. Okay, so this is about this video. Thanks for your time. We'll meet a bit later. Thank you. So this is Tableau series 4. If you are interested in taking training, you can contact on this number. Thank you.